Hello world and hello dear friends of Soulmate Debunked. My name is Susanna and I'm the creator of Soulmate Debunked. How is everyone doing? It's beautiful weather where I am right now, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I've got all my windows and patio doors open, so you might hear the occasional dog barking or the motorcycle roaring noises. Anyways, I again get caught in these cycles of periods of time where I don't have anything to record or anything to discuss, because I always think that I have to create a lot of compelling, worthwhile content that has a lot of insight and information and guidance. And again, it was a conversation I had with Joanne recently, and because she's over 400 episodes, and she said to me, I still have so much to talk about, so many topics, so many things to say. And I'm like, I got nothing to talk about. I don't know what to talk about. So I'm hoping that I'll get to that point where topics will just come and flow easily for me. But I guess I typically usually have something that's scripted, and I don't know if you were able to tell in my previous episodes, but I was reading from a teleprompter. But for today's episode, we are totally completely winging it, and the topic wasn't even planned. It's just something that happened to me, and I thought I'd share it. So today's topic is the elevator smile, or you can call it the elevator chit chat. Now, why I wanted to share this with you is I don't know how many of you live in apartment buildings, or how many of you are in Asia and you live in apartment buildings. But I live in an apartment building where there's elevators. So it's not a walk-up apartment, but there's elevators. And I typically know my neighbors around me. I make it a point of knowing my neighbors and saying hi to my neighbors and getting acquainted with my neighbors. I don't believe in, how many people oftentimes now don't even know their neighbors or say hi to them, and they could have been living beside each other for years. I don't believe in that. It's not just because it's a safety concern, where if you know your neighbors and you're friendly with them, if either one of you hear of anything suspicious going on, it's that accountability. So aside from the safety thing, but I make it a point to kind of know as many people in the building as possible, especially those that you kind of see oftentimes. Either you have the same work schedules, or you have the same workout schedules, or you always go out for coffee around the same time in the morning, so you typically see the same group of people. And that tends to happen to me a lot. I tend to see a lot of the same group of people, and I think it's a great thing because you get to know them. But anyways, what I wanted to bring up is sometimes I'm in the mood when I walk into an elevator and there's somebody there. I usually have my headphones on, and I usually always just, try to make eye contact. If they make eye contact with me first, and I always make an effort to make eye contact, and I give them the nod or the smile. But you can typically tell from someone if they're receptive to having a small chit-chat conversation with you in the elevator. Now, why I wanted to bring this up, and in this channel, in this Facebook forum with all of you, because it ties in with all those previous topics about self-confidence and meeting people, and we always talk about meeting people in coffee shops. Well, when you're in a coffee shop, it's a much more obviously open, bigger space, and if you make eye contact with someone, then always make an effort to just do that quick nod or smile. I mean, even if the person looks grumpy, they don't smile at you, just make the effort and be the bigger person and just make that initial smile. You know, it could make that person's day. Just like I'm sure if you were having a not so great day and someone gave you, quick nod and nice smile and said, have a great day, it makes you feel a little bit better. Now, so that's in a coffee shop scenario. It's a lot more open space. So you have a little bit more, how can you say, freedom, and you don't feel so confined and restricted. And usually when people are in confined and restricted places or spaces, they get nervous, especially with other people, because it's that proximity that you have to that person. In a coffee shop or in any other public place, there's a wide area of distance, and some people, or a lot of people I should say, usually have what I call their circumference of personal space. And some people's circumference or their circle or the bubble is quite big. So if you're, quite far away, that's probably as close or as comfortable as that person will feel with you approaching their kind of personal space boundary. But obviously, in an elevator, you've got no choice, right? Because it's a box, it's a confined space. So it really, really pushes your comfort zone, and it really forces you to step out of your comfort zone, particularly if you notice that someone is making eye contact with you. You will know, and they want to give you a smile, but they are shy themselves. So do the same thing. Here's the first step. If you're too shy or too afraid to make conversation or small talk and you don't know what to say, always at least make eye contact with the person. That's step number 1. And step number 2, do the little nod and smile. So even I think just those things and practicing those things will really help boost your self-confidence in meeting people, especially when you're in small places. Sometimes when you go to coffee shops or bars or restaurants or wherever it may be, you're not going to always have that wide open space. You're going to be confined to small space. And again, that pushes our comfort zone. Now, if you want to take it one step further, I would highly recommend that aside from the eye contact and the smile and nod, is open up and just make conversation. You won't feel stupid. You won't look like an idiot. And if you keep thinking, what am I going to say? What do I say? Just start off with saying, how was your day? How are you today? Right? Something as simple as that. And even as cheesy and as bad as it may sound, just say something like, nice weather, right? Oh, always talk about the weather. Because when you think about it, that ride is probably, that elevator ride with that person that you're having a conversation with or trying to have a conversation with is probably going to be about 5-10 seconds, maybe 20 seconds, 1 or 2 minutes max if it's a slow elevator and there's a lot of stops. So take advantage of those opportunities, right? And if you see that person again, it doesn't matter. Chances are that they're probably trying to make conversation with you, but they don't know what to say. But it's just something. It gets the conversation rolling. And if you find that you're asking the question and the person's not really responding, they're shy, they don't know what to say, right? Talk about the weather. Talk about how they're doing. I don't know, talk about something that's in the local news. Think, you'll be able to think of something, and don't ever be so self-conscious that you feel that they're going to judge you, or that you may look like a idiot or sound silly. Who cares? Even if you see them again, it doesn't matter, right? And the reason I wanted to bring up this whole elevator kind of acknowledgement or saying hi to someone is I don't know if many of you are entrepreneurs, or you've ever had to start your own business, and you've had to pitch in front of investors or other potential customers or other audiences. But in the business entrepreneurial world, they always have something called the elevator pitch. And the elevator pitch is basically, it's exactly what it says, because an elevator ride is usually about 30 seconds to 1 minute. So in business sense, they say the elevator pitch is you better be able to describe what your business or product or service is in 30 seconds or less, or maybe 1 minute or less. So it really forces you to be very articulate, succinct, and to get over your whole stage fright, because really you've got 30 seconds or 1 minute. So, you know, they do it in business, so why not do it in personal as well? Because I know that, you know, when we get into elevators, our first our first kind of reaction when we see somebody is just right away head down, you know, pretend we're scrolling through our phone or keep our music on, and either we keep looking down. And do you notice that sometimes that people don't even look up? They don't even want to have their eyes line of sight go up, even peripheral vision of being able to see that person or the other people in the elevator. I get it, you know. We all have our kind of comfort zones, but really, if we're talking about this whole thing of self-confidence and showing up for yourself, then you have to acknowledge and you have to practice these situations where you can't be so afraid to even say hi to someone, or to even just give someone a nod and a smile. So there you have it. And just talking about elevator chit chat is almost 15 minutes into this video broadcast here. But I really found it interesting how there's many people that are so conscious and so shy when they're in an elevator that they will not even look up at all. And I've actually seen people get off on the wrong floor because they just don't even look up. And it's not because they're so entrenched or so into their video game or whatever's on their phone. I mean, I think that's just an excuse for them to not have to make any eye contact, any conversation, any kind of interaction with anybody. And I can't pass judgment on anybody like that, because everybody has to advance at their own comfort level. But if you are serious about working on your self-confidence and being able to interact with people and to get to and network and get to know people, then the elevator test is a great way to start. And the other thing as well, I want to notice that some people are so shy and afraid of being in an elevator with someone else that they do the typical thing when if you're in the elevator first and they see someone coming, they'll press the close button as much as they can to prevent that other person from coming in. Please don't do that, just even as a common courtesy. For your fellow neighbors there, regardless of what floor they live on. Just be open and give it a try. So if any of you are in those situations, please give it a try. Give it a try with just the simple smile. And then you can look down, go back to your phone, or the smile and the nod. And if you're brave enough, start the conversation. So let me know how that works out for any of you, and I'm curious to hear some of the results. Anyways, I do have a lot more great videos coming up with lots of great content, and we'll get those out to you as soon as we can, and also with the Chinese subtitle videos as well. So there you go, 15 minutes, and yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated as much as I can, because I'm gonna start really aggressively pursuing my 50 now by the end of the summer. So there you go. Anyways, thank you all again for watching and for all your support. And please, if you haven't done so, subscribe to my YouTube. Subscribe, you know where to find the button. You'll know where to subscribe. And thank you again for watching. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Lots of love. Bye for now.